All right. Good evening, everyone. I welcome everyone who is on this call this evening. As usual, every Tuesdays at this time between 8 and 9, we have our session as the ICT Teachers Association of Uganda, which session we call the Each One Teach One. The reason we do this session is because our subject is too dynamic that what you learned 10 years ago would become obsolete, and you need to retool and get new skills and learn new stuff on how to approach our different aspects in our subject. I left college, teacher training college, around 20 years ago, and I remember by then teaching web design. We started by using what is this program called? Publisher. But over time, things have kept on changing. What remains constant is the introduction, where we introduce HTML to our learners. But for me, I started teaching web design using Publisher. And then along the way, I started using other tools. There is a time I even started using Dreamweaver and stuff like that. Now, you notice that things change, things and times change. 20 years later, here we have WordPress, the most popular content management system on earth. And when we were in the group, people were like, WordPress this, WordPress that. But this is just because some of us have not tried out this tool. WordPress is a very popular and very good platform to use for building websites. And then for our comrades, the teachers who are saying the kids don't have time to do this, I'll encourage you to come to Masaka on this weekend on Saturday. That will be the 6th. I want you to see what kids are doing with WordPress, and you'll get impressed. When Rogers visits me here in Abingo, he usually asks me, when do you really teach these kids? When do you teach these learners? Just give them access to their computers and they'll do wonderful things. So in today's session, without wasting a lot of time, we have been, yes, teaching our colleagues how to use WordPress. Some of us were introduced to WordPress 4 years ago. Rogers has been at the forefront of promoting the use of WordPress. I've joined him along the way. Mr. Self, who is here, is the Masaka lead for the WordPress Meetup. Masaka lead is also promoting WordPress, and for good reasons, by the way. We're not just promoting this program because we love it so much. It's for good reason. When we are teaching kids for the world of work, look at the website that I'm sharing on the screen here. That is the ICT Teachers Association website. We used WordPress, and a lot of other websites are using WordPress. I'll give an example of MTN. They are using WordPress. State House, Uganda, they're using WordPress. There's this registration, this agency where you register companies, I forget what it is called. They are using WordPress. Look at Kabale University, Makerere University at 100. I'll even show you maybe just briefly. Let me visit this website. This is for my school, eachoneschool.sc.ug. So it will really be a disservice if you taught your learners using obsolete software, and then when they come to the world of work, they realize they were denied a chance to learn what is on the market. That what you're seeing there is the website of EachOne School of Computing, and it's also using WordPress. There are very many genuine reasons why WordPress is the preferred CMS for building our websites. So in today's session, Rogers is going to introduce to us how to use page builders. You can build websites without a page builder. But then when you want to just up your game, how can a client pay you $1,000 for your website? Look at your website and ask whether the client will be willing, or if you are the one, whether you'll be able to pay $1,000 for that website. How good is it? So Rogers is our speaker today and is going to introduce page builders to us. Rogers, you're welcome. I hand over the session to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Dumba. And that was a very great introduction. I will just do some little re-echoing of what you have been saying. So members, we are not necessarily promoting any particular software, because some people may say, why are these promoting this software? We have been following this, like Mr. Dumba said. In 2018, I wrote an article, and I was asking which software, because UNEB was saying we should use softwares not more than 10 years old. So by then, Publisher, like Mr. Dumba said, we were using Publisher. Personally, actually, I put in my book, Computer Applications, Lab Activities, and I had a book and I was using Publisher. I put there a tutorial, and I was teaching how to use a Publisher. Still, homepage, duplicate the pages, and put menu, hyperlink. This was in Publisher 2007, and this was in my book of computer studies. But then these websites here of Publisher, even people could ask questions if you go to the ITAU website and you just type the word Publisher. So we could have questions coming up. Sometimes someone saying, my menu does not publish, because we could do Publisher and then after that export it. So you could have something like this: hello, Publisher doesn't publish my navigation but the web. So we could find out all those things. Now, after some time, Microsoft released another version, 2010, and in this one they removed the Publisher. And then they said, why? Well, then they said the web and the print are different. That was Microsoft, and they're saying, we have given up. Let Publisher be for certificates, business cards, and that is drag and drop design print publications. The web has changed, and so they said, don't continue using Publisher. The HTML which comes out was not even UNEB reports came out when they were discouraging using of Publisher. Some teachers up to now are still stuck on Publisher. Then Microsoft suggested using Expression Web. By then, 2010, they are not yet discontinued Expression Web. So when Microsoft recommended Expression Web in this article, we jumped onto Expression Web. Personally, I made a video on YouTube. By then, Expression Web was the song of the day 5 years ago, and the video has got 2.6 views. So we pushed Expression Web, Actually, there's another article that I wrote on Expression Web. One of the reasons I was seeing is that it was a familiar application, works offline. It could allow you to do code and also do the website. So I wrote an article why Expression Web is the best alternative for O-level students by then. Now, the problem is that after some time, by then Expression Web had been somehow discontinued, but it was still available. But after some time, Microsoft also abandoned Expression Web and front-end web development in general. I don't know whether members are still seeing my screen. So you see the problem with Microsoft. Sometimes this was a very powerful software that if they continued maintaining, you never know, would not even be looking elsewhere. WordPress was already there as well, but Expression Web was good as an application similar to Word. You just open and then you do. But Microsoft also closed Expression Web. It is still there if you have all the softwares on your hard disk, but you cannot download it from Microsoft website itself. Maybe you go to pirate sites, and that's where you can get. So this person wrote an article, said RIP Expression Web. This person here was using Expression Web a lot and was actually wanting to cry if you read this article here. So Microsoft, the reason why Microsoft ran away, because it realized the web was changing. People are no longer going to be using desktop publications to do websites, because websites live on the internet. So people will want to use a tool which they will use on computer and also use on a server. So so in this other article, we explored many others. We had Dreamweaver as well. Dreamweaver was also bought by Adobe, and it was bundled into Adobe Suite, and it is very expensive. There is a tool called Blue Griffon that we did in one of the workshops, a Kawa workshop in Mbale. And when you go to Blue Griffon website, it is also down. Blue Griffon is saying, after 14 years of existence, it is time to wave goodbye to Blue Griffon. There are many reasons for that. And one of the reasons is say that Blue Griffon should become an online app, but I don't have time. And I will not take courage to move that way. So the developers of Blue Griffon were crying and they're saying, to be deco. So as they are leaving that, there is something which made WordPress to come up and supersede all these ones here. So there are many applications you can continue exploring. Many of those applications are hitting a dead end as WordPress keeps on taking the trend and keep growing with a market share of 63.3% now, as compared to other tools. All these tools work online: Shopify, Wix, Joomla, there is Adobe here, and then there are others in this other thing currently at 810 million. So that's why the reason why websites of State House of what are all on WordPress, for one reason. There are some reasons that are there, and I want to highlight them. One, it is free and open source. It is not for paying like Dreamweaver or anything. It is it can work both offline and online. So you use the same tool offline and the same tool on the online server, unlike Dreamweaver, which you only use offline and then you just upload the other side. So it can work in both scenarios. It is the most popular. So a learner learning it will use it when he goes to the work, will use it in the world of work. Unlike using Publisher, which they will never use. There's no website you find on the internet which was done in Publisher. And it has a lot of themes and plugins. People create them every time. And they add customization. If you want to integrate mobile money, you can get a plugin. If you want to do an election website, you can get a plugin. You can get a plugin for anything you want. And it doesn't kill the coding. It has what called the code editor. So some people say WordPress is not for coding. There's a lot of coding in WordPress because the plugins, the themes are done by coding, and it also allows you to switch to the code if you need. But the biggest factor is the global community and local community. In Uganda alone, we have around 5 meetups, and more meetups are coming up, and they are also globally of people who organize meetups on teaching WordPress, WordCamps. No other software has a community like WordPress. So we are not necessarily, like Mr. Dumba said, our field is very vibrant. In case tomorrow we get another good tool, there are many other good tools that you may find there, but WordPress is the best in terms of this line. Now, we want you to not to be really tied. That's a disclaimer. Don't be tied. Feel free to explore other tools. There are other tools like Aloha, SeaMonkey. There are many other tools here, but all of them, you may use them today. After 1 year, they'll be down. But WordPress is continuing. So feel free to use any tool, but also introduce learners to WordPress. Now, when UNEB released the sample papers just recently, firstly, when they put now they are open, they are on. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to walk us through this UNEB number, and I want to finish it before the EachOneTeachOne because I've been practicing through. So there are some zip folders here. I don't know why UNEB likes putting them in the .ral format. .ral is a bit troublesome. So I use the tool called the 7-zip, and then I just say extract to // So in that line, it is going to extract for me all these files. .ral is a bit tricky. Without an archive software, you cannot easily export. Now, I'm interested in ICT. Now, when you open ICT, particularly, there is paper 2. And this paper 2 here, there is a PDF for the paper itself, and then also there is a PDF for the guide, which is there. Now, one of the first things that I look at is how much time do I have? Normally when the samples they release, that is mimics the paper format, how it will be. So we expect it to be 2.5 hour paper. And according to the rubrics here, they have put 2 questions. That means each question, you have like 1 hour. And then the other 30 minutes is an allowance for printing and everything. Also, we are expected to have the website when it can be put on a CD. That means people were fearing that WordPress on localhost, we are going to be showing you how do you make it to be exported so that it is a static HTML files which can be put on a CD for use. So basically, and also they also give what you call support files. support files that was there. Now, when I look at the guide, just briefly before I go in, the guide has an item 2. They look at competencies. 1, they say use any one web authoring application. So they are not telling you use Dreamweaver or what, use any. Whether you use the what, use so long as you do the website. Yeah, so that one is one thing. Then 2, so they will be looking at if a learner doesn't use a web authoring application. Some people think Notepad. Notepad is just a text editor, doesn't have web authoring features. Unlike if you use tools like VS Code, which can be mainly done for coding purposes. But that is one of the things that you can look at. Then they look at the application should be able to help you to do web pages, page titles, link the pages, create forms. So you will be looking at those features and see that the learner has done that. And indeed, if you go back to the UNEB samples, you realize that in the support files, they have provided even expected responses for item 2. There is some sample website here, which was created by the examiner to mimic, to give us an idea of what is expected for the learners to create. And there is a simple website here. It has academics page, projects page, sports page, and I realized they forgot to put there the home page, but the home page was also there in the support file. The home page is there, but they forgot to put it on here. But I will put it. So there is a form here which learners can be able to fill in, something like this. So what I want to do is I want to show you how to replicate exactly this particular website the way it is using WordPress, and that's the assignment that I want to do. So one of the things, if you are to install WordPress, you need to install what you call XAMPP. Now, XAMPP is a local host. It works offline. So you need to have XAMPP on your machine. And I encourage you to go to this site called SourceForge. SourceForge is actually the repository where XAMPP is stored. And you can be able to download the latest version if you have updated Windows. You have Windows 10, Windows 11, but with Windows updates, it will work. But you may be having Windows 10, but when your computer is not having Windows updates, or having Windows 7 Service Pack 0, which is not Service Pack 1, then you may have to click on Files, and you download an older version, which will work on your computer. So you click on XAMPP Windows, and then you go down and you look for example, if I'm installing on Windows 7 and it's refusing, or Windows 8, I can go and look for a version of 2016, and I try that. You say, what was XAMPP 7.2? So don't say XAMPP has refused. You can always get a version which you will be able to run on your computer. So that is one thing. The other thing that you need WordPress itself. WordPress is open source and free. So you just go to the website of WordPress, click on Get WordPress, and when you get there, you can be able to download the latest version of WordPress, which is a free one, or you can even go and still download the older versions if you want. You click on releases, you can get older versions. Then after downloading WordPress, you need to download some few things. We have what called themes and plugins. These ones here, they are free of charge. Now for themes, we encourage you to use a theme. There's a theme called Astra. It is the most popular theme, actually, over 1 million downloads. It gives you a clean website without a lot of other things, as you are going to see. You can download Astra, and then also you download some plugins here. So you just type in a plugin. For example, if you want contact, as we have seen, we may need contact. You just type contact, and then you'll find contact form 7 and download it. So I've downloaded some of these. I'm not downloading here. I've already downloaded them, and I'll put them here. These are the files which I've chosen to download. XAMPP is downloaded. WordPress is downloaded. Now I've downloaded the Astra. Now I've also downloaded a couple of plugins. There is contact form 7. There is Elementor, which is what I want to introduce now, because we have been having several sessions. Mr. Kakuru and others have been doing these sessions. But Elementor, and then Elementor header footer. I'm going to be showing you how it is going to make it easier for us to create the website exactly. And then also we have simple static here, which will help us to export the website to become static. Now, the first thing you do is to install XAMPP. So when you open on XAMPP and you click on double click on it, it is going to open a window so that you can be able to install it. Now, for me, I've already actually installed it already. It is here and it is running. If you have not yet installed it, please, you just follow the window. The window is going to guide you on next, you accept, you give it permissions, and then you complete. It's just the way you install any other software. Now, after installing it, make sure that these two processes are started. There is this one, Apache, and then there is also MySQL. These two should be running. In case there is a problem with running or anything, sometimes some of us have some apps like Skype, like Teams, like there could be a conflicting app which is conflicting with the ports. So you can be able to do some research and make sure you fix that. Or you uninstall and make sure that you install it correctly. So after this is now going to be our local server, local host. So what do we need to do? We need to host our website inside. So how do we host it there? You click on Explorer, where there is Explorer. You click on Explorer. It is going to open this place where it is C, local disk C XAMPP. Then you look for a folder called htdocs. It is the public facing folder. If you are on a live server, it will be the public HTML folder. So you look for htdocs, which is here, and that's where you're going to host your websites. For me, I have many websites I'm hosting here already. I have Circle System, I have Mock Exam, Ginger Restaurant, Pizza Shop. Others are manually coded PHP applications, but I can also host here my WordPress, my Drupal, and many other kind of applications. So I'm going to create a folder for student. Now this is not done by the teacher. This is by the student. This is by the student, by the lab technician or the ICT teacher when he's installing. So if I'm having any computing, I will actually create like 6 student 1, student 2, student 3, student 4, even up to student 8. If there are 8 students using that same computer, I create a folder for each, and then I'll clearly label on each of the terminals that this one is student 1, student 2, so that learners can be able to do that. So I've created a folder called student 4 inside the htdocs. So after creating that folder, let me close this other XAMPP installation because I had finished installing. Now, after creating the folder, I'm going to host my WordPress inside here. So I'll get WordPress and then I extract also. Okay, I extract. So after extracting, it is going to extract. For me, I already extracted it here. So when you extract, you find it will create another folder inside. So what you do, you get the files inside. These real files here are the ones that you cut. Okay, these are the ones that you cut, and then you take and put them in student 4. If you say cut and paste, they will move faster, or copy and paste. So those real WordPress PHP files, everything inside are the ones you take. Don't take it when it is again in another subfolder. Let them be at the root of student 4. Now, I've finished hosting my WordPress within the local server, which is the XAMPP local server. So after hosting my website, I can go ahead and open it. So I'm going to say localhost. If I just say localhost alone, it will say localhost and it will bring the dashboard. In case I just say localhost, it will do like that. But if I want to visit my website itself, I will say localhost / then I say student what? Student what? Student 4. And I will be able to get there. It is going to open. Now it is going to serve the other files which I have hosted within htdocs, within my WordPress. So it is trying to, you see, it has launched WordPress. Now, when it launches this WordPress, I go ahead and I just say continue. It is going to ask me for some questions. The first question is asking me is which database, because WordPress cannot run alone without a database. So what I will do, I will go back to my XAMPP control panel, and then I go and I click where there is admin here under MySQL. I click on admin. So when I click there, it is going to bring localhost / phpMyAdmin, where I'm going to create the database. And when I go there, it is going to be so I'm running through this installation process because people always are knocked off by this. I would have just gone directly because of the time it was about Elementor, but let me just do this, and I'm also going to do the Elementor, even if I don't finish it all the site, but at least I will have shown you the basics that I need. So I still have 30 minutes left So when I open and it opens PHP click on databases, and then you go ahead and put there student 4. Remember, I've not yet known the website name. I'm not a student. I'm just a lab technician who is installing WordPress for students. So I don't know which number they will ask, whether they will ask for a school. So I'll just say student 4. I'll create a database for each student, student 4, student 5. If it is each student his own computer, then I create only one database. So after doing that, I go back here and then I click on let's go. And I put in student 4. Where there's database name, I say student 4. Okay. You can be consistent. Student 4 username here, you leave it as root. That root is a default user within MySQL when it is created, and the password you leave it as blank. And then you go ahead and click on submit. So if you have put correctly without putting any password there, it will allow. Then you click on run installation. And when you say run installation, it is going to be able to ask you now the final form. Now asking you about the website. Like I said, I don't know which website they are going to say. So let me just say student 4. Username, student 4. Password, student 4. Confirm use of password. Email, student4@gmail.com. Just put student 4, student 4. All these things can be changed later by the student. The student will put in the right site title and everything during the customization. So I click on install WordPress. Now what happens exactly when you click that button? WordPress is actually going to, you see when you created this table, it never had any tables here. But when it finishes running this form, WordPress is creating tables in the database, which are going to support the application when it is running. So as you can see this thing rotating here, it is actually installing, setting up the database, connecting it, and making sure that WordPress is running. So if I come this side and I just refresh here, you realize if I click on student 4, you realize that WordPress has created the tables which were not there. Let me try to share again. I think my computer has gone off and the speed is very high, but I believe some members are revising this and should be getting there. So I'm going to be finalizing on this. Whatever I'm doing so far is not students' work. Whatever I'm doing so far is just the work of course, you can actually engage students to help you in installation so that they get familiar with the process, but their work will be exactly during the examination when they have done. So I've finished installing WordPress, and it has also created those tables, and I'm able to go ahead and log in. Now, username and password, I can tell it, make it to remember the password, so that when learners come, they will just log in without asking me the password, or I can put the password on the blackboard there, so that learners know that they just go to localhost/student4, they put in username student4, password student4, and they will be in. This thing here has disturbed the teachers in workshops we have been having. Some teachers come and they spend the whole day just installing, but it is not difficult. It is actually easy. Over with installation.
Rogers.
Okay.
Rogers, are you speaking? Hello, Rogers.
Stephen, are you hearing me?
No, you had muted.
Yes, I was talking. I think my phone, I've now switched on the machine. I was talking about the plugins, and I was saying the plugins are vital. I think someone was calling the phone, sorry. Let me see. I wanted to move this very fast so that I don't waste a lot of time. Let me see. Let me allow unmute. Okay, I was using.
Okay, Stephen, are you hearing me now?
Yeah,
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So I was saying that WordPress alone is like installing Windows, and then you don't put Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and others. So let us install all these plugins. Also, let that not be students' work. That is the lab technician or you, when you are setting up, make sure that all the computers, the local host is running. So I've installed the first one. I'm going to install the second one. I talked about this Elementor. I know some of you have not used it before, and don't be overwhelmed. It is very simple. It is going to actually simplify. Instead of using the customizer that we have been using, it is going to be easy for us to create that header because it's a simple one. I will not spend much time on it. So I have Elementor. Also, Elementor is a page builder, which is more robust, and it is also free. There is a pro version, but the free version can be able to work well, especially if you install it together with another additional companion called Elementor Header Footer, which I have also downloaded there. So I click that, and then I download, and then I add, and I can click here and I say add a new plugin. So this one activates.
Rogers.
Yes, are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can I chip in?
Yes. You can give a comment.
Yes. Now about plugins, I realized some teachers asked me, why do we need plugins when we already have WordPress and stuff like that. So I noticed that we are only telling them, install this plugin, install that. It's also important to tell them what plugins are. And then even we show them that there are very many plugins. For example, if we could go to add a new plugin. If you can go, then we just put something like LMS. Maybe LMS. You can type LMS.
Yes.
LMS, and then we search. There's something that's going to bring. So where do we see the figure? How many there are?
They are here. There are 310.
So it shows that there are 311 items. You just type LMS and you have 311, and all those are options for you to choose from. Maybe you can type something like contact. Maybe contact will bring something.
Yeah, contact. And here they bring when internet is on. But in case internet is not on, then you can just go to the website of WordPress and download them.
So you say from just contact, we have 1,036 items. So you have something to do with contacts. You have plugins that deal with contacts, above 1,000 of them. And the most popular for this case here is Contact Form 7. So teachers should be wondering, why are we using Contact Form 7? It is because 5 million people are choosing Contact Form 7. So there is a reason why there are 5 million. So you'll end up also going either for Contact Form 7 or something nearby here. You may not go for one of those last ones there where there's only 1 or 2 people using it. So I think maybe you can tell them what plugins are. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Mr. Dumba. Like you said, like I was saying, plugins are additional modules that they add functionality on the website. And for now, we can just choose a set of essential plugins that can be good enough for learners to do some good work. So we started by just showing you a few, but now we are introducing these two, and you can feel free to explore others. So there is this one called Simple Static, which we said is good for also to be installed, and is going to make our website to be offline, to be able to be exported to an offline version. Okay, so I think those are the ones that I have installed. So after installing the plugins and activating them, you realize that you will see this side on the side pane. The contact will come, Elementor will come, and when you go to appearance, you'll see Elementor Header Builder is here, and also you'll find Simple Static also down here when it has come. So whenever you install a plugin, it adds some option on the menu. Now the plugin is good. So if I visit my website, of course the plugins may not change any appearance of anything immediately. If I first visit website, I click here, I realize that my website is looking like this. But now when I look at this website, it is having some dummy data like we used to have in Publisher. It has these words, it has this picture, it has the a passion for creating, it has many things. And if learners use this one, others will forget to delete some things like we used to have in Publisher. Things learners could leave their elements. And I examine and may see these learners are having similar work. That's why we are encouraging you to install a plain theme, which doesn't have a lot of things that it comes with and dummy content. So we are going to also install a theme, and this theme is called Astra, which is one of the most popular themes as well. And we also install that. And when you install this Astra theme, you realize that it is going to turn our website to become a bit plain. And that will mean that each learner will be able to innovatively create their own version of the site without having to have a lot of dummy things in there. And we have realized also the Astra theme has a good customizer, as we are going to be seeing. So if I come here and I say visit site, it is going to now bring, let me just open this in a new window. So it is going to show me the website has become a bit plain. The other theme has disappeared, but there is some junk data here. It is this hello world and also something. So what I can do finally, as I finalize, is to delete this junk data. So I can come to all pages and I delete the junk data as well, so that my candidates don't have these hello worlds. They may not have, these are just junk pages. So I can just delete them so that they will start and create their own pages instead of relying on this. And also the posts, you can be able to delete them and you'll be good to go. Yes, so colleagues, at this point, this is the point at which the learners are going to start the development. So having 20 minutes. I want you to take note of the time. If I log out, so for me, I'm an admin, I've finished installing this computer and I've left it like that. I put the password on the blackboard, student 1, student 2, student 3. So the learner comes. Now we are taking note. I'm starting at 8:43. So I'm going to see in 20 minutes, what can I do on this website? In the exam, I have a full hour. Now 20 minutes, this is where I'm starting. This is where a student starts from. Your student should know where to log in from, WP admin. Okay, so after logging in, the first thing that he's going to do is he can create his pages. So I'm going to come to all pages. Remember my website, which I'm working on. A learner can be able to plan, and say, okay, this is the website that I'm going to create. Look at the scenario, identify the pages that they need, can be able to do some planning. So I'm going to do this kind of website. So one of the pages, let me first create the home page. Even when it was not there, home page is always good to create it. So I'm going to say add a new page, and then I say I'm going to say add a new page, and then I say home page. So I just say home. So I say publish. Okay, that is one page. Okay, so the next page is going to be academics. Okay, so I'm going to come here. I click back on this, and then I can say academics. So let me just open this thing many times because I don't have much time, so that I just be able to run this. Yeah, so I'm going to put in academics. Academics, I publish that page. The next page that I need is create is projects. Projects. Okay, projects is loading. So academics has been created. I'm going to create another page called projects. Okay, so here on my computer, I'm having Zoom running and many things. So it also depends. And also, by the way, when there is internet can make the browser delay to load, thinking that maybe it is loading from internet. But if it is on localhost without internet, it loads even faster than here on my computer. There is internet because I'm on Zoom. Yeah, but you should be able to work faster even without internet. This thing doesn't require internet. So I will have my spots, and then finally I have my application form also here. So I have this. Okay, this one is publishing. So I'm going to create another one here. Add another page, and I will create that. So if I refresh here, I should be able to see my pages which have been created. So you just say add page, and then you add the pages accordingly. Yeah. So I'm having the 4 pages that I've created. Now the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to work on the menu and the header. I'm going to work on the menu and the header. So let me add one more page. So this one has been published. This one has been published. And this one also has been, okay, let me put application form and also publish it. There's another way of creating these pages directly through the customizer, but this is the traditional way of creating the pages. Okay. Now, there are marks for the menu and hyperlinking and everything. So that is very, very important. Yeah, so these are the pages. I think I created the projects twice. So what I can do, let me edit this one. Let me see which one I was creating here. I can do a quick edit from here, and I edit. If I've created I've created the 2 pages, it is easy to do a quick edit, and then I just update from here. So I have academics, home, projects, application form, and sports. Those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think those are the ones. Yeah. So those are 5 pages. Okay. So after I've done my pages, the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and create my menu. Put them on the menu. So I go and appearance, I click on menus, and I can go there, appearance, and I click on menus. And when I go there, I can be able to call this main menu. And when I'm there, I can select it to be the primary menu. You can put any name up here. And I'm going to add the pages to the menu. So I can just select all of them and I add them to the menu. We have been doing several sessions on this. So that's the second stage that I've done. I've added my items on the menu. Now I can rearrange them. I can remove some items like this custom link. I can remove it. I can make this to go at the top. I can make, I can see application form is there twice. So I can be able to remove one. It is twice because I was creating and in several pages. So I've removed that. So I have this application form was the last option here. Then there was projects and then sports. So I have something like that. So I have this as my menu. So I can be able to save that, and I have my menu. Now, after creating the menu, now I can go ahead and go to what we call the customizer. Now, this customizer is what we have been using. So you go to appearance and click on customize. We have been using the customizer, and you can use the customizer to create your menu. It has what we call a theme builder, and we have been having several sessions on this. Colleagues like Mr. Kakuro and others have done a lot in this area. So I'm not going to drive much here. If you click on the header builder here, you realize that there are sections here. There is, for example, site and logo, where you can upload your logo. And let me just put the logo here. I'll go to the support files, which are under the new curriculum files here. I go to support files under the UNEB support files. I realized these support files were in a file extension which was not supported here for direct upload. It is refusing. So what does that mean? It means that learners are expected to know about file extensions. You see, when they are setting an activity, they make sure they integrate several skills. How can a learner convert this file extension? For example, I can use Paint. I open it in Paint, and then I save it as a JPEG. So I've saved it as a JPEG in the same location. Yeah. So when I save it like that, so when I save it like that, I can even, I think this particular one was allowing even to just edit directly the file extension. So I can be able to select it and then open, and it will be able to allow that particular file extension. Yeah, so this one was doing that. So I say select, I keep cropping, the logo will come. I can get the name of the school, which is ABCD High School. And with this one, you just click on what you need. If I click on this, then I can be able to come this side, and I change where there is a site title, I put there ABCD High School, and it will come. So the customizer, they have many options. I can decide to hide that. And down here, there are 3 bars. I can say I want to put here a button. I just put a button up here, and then the button should be able to appear up here at the top. Yeah, so, but this particular customizer is a bit limited. There are many options here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to first just save this, and I just close it. You feel free to, in case you want a simple menu, like in this form, I have like 4 columns. I have the logo, I have this title, I have this menu, I have this marquee, I have this line. So it was difficult for me to achieve this using that customizer. But if I wanted something of 3 lines, I would easily get it, a logo and then this and this in that customizer. But the customizer is a bit limited. That's the reason why I'm using Elementor. So I'm going to come and I say Elementor header footer builder. This Elementor header footer builder can be used to do more complicated headers like the one on the ITAU website or any other website. So you click on add new, and then you say you can just skip this part, and we want to add a header now. I'm in Elementor header footer. So this was the main part of the lesson actually for today. So I'm just going to say header, and then select an option. I say it is a header, and then I'm going to say I want it to be on the entire website, and I want it to be on all users. And then I publish this. Now I'm going to show you how I'm going to achieve this header, which I couldn't achieve in Astra alone. This is having a header with many levels and many things. So I'm just going to click on edit with Elementor. Edit with Elementor. This one is straightforward. It is actually even simpler than using the customizer, because the customizer, you have to know where to go. But here it is a drag and drop. You need a logo, drop it there. You need a word, drop it there. You need this, and it works offline as well. So in case it brings this pop-up, just close that pop-up. Now I'm going to click here on this plus. I can choose this first one, which is a Flexbox, and then I click on how many columns I want. So here I want 1 logo. So I can say, okay, just give me that. Now this side, there are elements. So I'm going to say logo, site logo. Then I drag. Now, since I already set my logo, the logo is going to come, and it is there. Let me just be fast. Let me create another element. I want what else? I want ABCD High School, and this is here is this is a heading. So I'm going to say heading. I put it here, and I put in my ABCD. Then I can be able to center it in the middle. Remember, I want it to be black, and the font size, I want it to be Times New Roman. Okay, so I'm going to come here and I say Times New Roman. So Times New Roman, and I have something like that. Okay, so that is what I'm having. Let me proceed. Next is a menu. Okay, I'm just going to add another thing, and then I say menu. There are many options here. I'm a bit fast, but there are many options that you can do. So I'm going to say menu. Now I'm going to choose a navigation menu. I drop it there, and it automatically going to pick the other menu that I had set. I come here and I say, okay, my menu, please, can you be in the middle? Right now, the menu is not in the middle, so I can be able to put my menu in the middle. How? I go to I'm on style. Let me see. Let me first go to content. This is my menu. Let me go to style. Okay. There is layout. Yeah, layout alignment. Layout alignment is in the middle, like that. And I can also change my text color to black still. And also I can change the typography, which is the font, if I want, to Times New Roman. Now, this one has a lot of more options than the Astra customizer. Now, next I'm having
Makui.
okay, someone was calling again. Mr. Dumba, are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you.
You can hear me? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to add another one, and this time I'm going to put HTML, and this HTML, because I wanted a Makui, so I'm going to say Makui. So I put an HTML element. This is Elementor. It means it has a lot of what? Elements. And when I'm coding, it automatically helps me to do the coding the way it is. And it has brought the HTML. Now this one, I'm having this other line below. Instead of putting, I could put a line, but let me just go to the style. Let me just style this same thing. And then I go to the border. And then I say border bottom. Border bottom, I'm going to say border bottom, let me say 20. And then let me see. Border type, and I set solid. And then I choose blue color. Okay, so I want to have a blue border, a bottom border. So I'm on this box here, and I increase this. Let me see, 30. Okay,
Yeah,
so I should be able to have a border width, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I should be able to have my border. So I'm on this box, this element here, border. I was supposed to put on border width, sorry, I was putting on border radius. Border width, and I say border bottom 30. Okay, so I've got my border there as needed. Yeah, so let me just publish this because of time. I'm not going to do a lot of hula baloo on that. So at this stage, we have almost finished our website. The biggest thing, the hardest thing is the what? Is that header. Once you do the header, you put the menu, you have your pages, the rest of the things are simplified. Remember, I started doing this website just 20 minutes ago. And now I'm here. I can reduce padding and make sure these things are squeezed up, but I'm not going to do that because of time. So what do I need? What I need is to just put some content. So I'm just going to go to academics page, and then I copy this. Elana should be able to copy this. Then I will go to academics page, for example. And this time I'm not going to use Elementor because it's a simple editing. I'm just going to use Gutenberg. So I will be able to come in here and I paste my words. If I want pictures, to put pictures, that is very easy. Learner should be able to type, or if support files are being provided. So I can upload an image. I can upload an image. Let me upload this one because of time. We have been doing a lot of these other sessions with other colleagues. So let me not waste much time. So that is one page. That is one page. That is the one page which has been finished. So I'm going to go to another page. I'm going to go to another page. Which page do I need? I need the projects. So I'm just going to go to projects page. Projects page is here. Projects page has words and a table. So if I want this table, it is very easy to put the table on the projects page. I just click on edit page. I can be able to use some words here. Then I can be able to use Gutenberg. Gutenberg is this normal editor. Then Elementor is the other sophisticated one. So if you want Elementor still, you can use Elementor even for these ones. Yeah, but in case you want a more improved design. So I can be able to get my words, new classroom block, and then I put in my page, new classroom block. So like I said, once you finish the header, website is very waiting because you already have the pages, you have the hyperlinks, you have everything. So what is left is just putting in content. So because like I said, you don't necessarily need Elementor, but in case you want a more sophisticated header which has maybe levels and more flexible, then you can use the Elementor header builder. But in case it is a simple header, then you can just use the Astra customizer without using header. But I thought that if we don't introduce members to some of these tools, like we have competition of Masaka, teachers will remain only stuck on Astra, yet there are options in Elementor which they can explore to do even bigger and better projects. So don't limit yourself. You can have learners at least do this. Now, I'm going to go to the issue of the application form. We talked about the contact page. The contact page, we have a plugin. So if you come here and you just copy this shortcode here, you can be able to just paste it on this page and boom, the form will be working by default. In the previous video, Mr. Kakuru was showing us more how do you add other fields in that form. But right now, if I just do this, the form is done. The form is there and it is working. I just click here to see the website. So I have the form on the application form page. It's here. Now, in case I need to add other fields in this form, it is very easy. You just go to the contact form and edit that form. You just go to contact and go to contact form, and then you edit that particular form. Here, you can edit the form and add other fields in there. You need some little coding recognition. So, for example, if I want to add a file or a drop down, let me add a drop down menu. I choose here a drop down. Like here, they had the if I go to application form, they had a drop down. They had a drop down menu of class. Okay, so if I want to add a drop down level menu, I will just come here and then I click on edit form. Then I say senior 1, senior 2, senior 3, senior 4, senior 5, senior 6. Okay, so this is I can just do that. That is my drop down menu. I insert tag. Okay, now when I insert tag, it is going to put it here. Then I just copy this label. I put the label above, and then I also close the label below. And that's the reason precisely why you should introduce your learners to HTML before WordPress, so that in case they reach scenarios which require HTML skills, they should be able to apply them. So the form, there are many options here, drop down lists, radio buttons, everything is there. So for me here, I have refreshed and I have my drop down, it is here in the form. So colleagues, I'm almost through with this. I think the only page I've not put is the one of sports. Let me just put this as the last one. And I started this 20 minutes ago. And within the 20 minutes, I have a website ready. The other things of installation, that is not the portion of students during an exam. That is a portion of a lab attendant of installing the themes and plugins, which are the basic ones. Learners practice with them and they should be familiar with them. So by the time the exam reaches, they should be able to handle. So let me just change a few file extensions here because these file extensions were unfriendly. So I have that. Let me change another file extension. Okay. So I have that. So I can now select this and then I upload it onto the gallery under sports. So I can put a gallery. So now I have to put my website onto a CD. That is the last part of this session. So I have a website which I've done in 20 minutes. I must emphasize because I started at 8:40. That's when I started. So when I'm here, I'm going to export my website. How do I export? You go to Simple Static and you first click on settings first. Simple Static and click on settings. And then you choose this part and you choose offline usage because you want the website to work offline. So you do that and then you save. Okay, so you do that and then you save. You look at where there is save settings down here. You click on save settings. After saving your settings, then you go back to simply static and click on generate. By the way, when you are installing, you can even do that setting also. You can go simply static and make that setting in advance, so that when learners come, they will just click on generate. Yeah, so you can even go under simply static and say you make that setting of offline usage earlier, so that for them when they come, they will just do the pages, create the header, and then export the website, and you'll be good to go. There is something small that I did show you as it exports. Under appearance, we also have what we call the footer. So the way we did the header, you can do it using Elementor. If you look at the websites like the website of ICT Teachers Association, if you go to the footer, you realize there's a very good footer there down. This footer was created using Elementor header footer kind of Elementor. It was created using Elementor. So if you want a footer which is beautiful like this, you can't do it in Astra Customizer. You may need to use Elementor header footer if you are to have such a footer. But in case you want a simple footer, which is just simple within Astra Customizer, you just click there. There is a footer section in here. You just go there and then you click on this pencil and then you put there designed by Mukalere Rogers. Okay, so in case you want to just take a simple footer, that Astra will be able to work for you. But in case you want a more sophisticated footer like this, just go to Elementor header footer, and then you be able to have your footer created, so that it will be able to work for you in that line. So I'm going to ask a few members to ask 1 or 2 questions, and then we shall be able to complete this particular section as we conclude. So any comments, any question? Have I been very fast? You can be able to make a comment because our time is fast spent. Members, are you still there?
Yes, Rogers, we are still available.
I don't know whether I was too fast, whether I was talking to myself, but I believe.
Yes, mine is not a question, but it's just a submission. It's a supplementary. If I'm allowed. Okay, yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for this wonderful presentation. So someone was asking about the plugins. I would say in the context of WordPress, plugins are essentially mini applications that you can plug into your website to add new features or enhance the existing functionality. So those functionalities are similar to how apps work on our smartphones. And you just need to imagine WordPress as a basic framework for building a house. So the core platform allows you to create the foundation and the structure, but plugins are like the tools and extensions that enable you to customize the house further. And I saw a message from our chat. It was saying as if this is too much for a session, we need to segment it for efficiency, and that was someone's opinion. I could say that creating a classic website might seem daunting, especially if you are new to WordPress, but what we need to do is to start small. We keep on practicing, getting support from our fellow teachers and people who use WordPress, making research on YouTube that could make us perfect. Yeah, that's what I wanted to submit.
Okay, thank you. And by the way, Mr. Sebuf and the colleague was asking that is too much. Remember, members, we have been having many sessions. So I wanted to have something comprehensive because some people are revising. Now, there are some members who will be totally new. I would understand that this is actually quite much, okay? Yeah, so, but in case those ones who have already been following the other sessions, the only new thing in this session was the issue of what? Of using the Elementor header. And if someone came when he already knows that, he will just only get that. So the video is going to be on YouTube. Those who want to review everything, they can be able to get the video, a 1-hour video, having everything from the discussion of which page builder to use, and everything is going to be there. Okay, so we can have this discussion even another day. And the colleagues who are coming to Kigezi, you'll learn even, and when people go to Kigezi, there will be those who are totally new. So the facilitators, they will use their own approach. But like we said, we didn't start with Elementor, we started with just Astra. So it depends on which kind of people you are dealing with. But even your learners, if you introduce them to Astra in the first lesson, and after some time you find those who are good and inquisitive, Elementor is not difficult if you use Elementor and Elementor free. They can also get introduced to it, especially if they are to do that. And at the end of the day, you can be able to get a very beautiful interface. Now, I don't know that it is my server here which is delaying or something. It is actually, it was about to finish. It is supposed to export, so it is showing me here. It was showing me here around 400 pages, 4 out of 439. So it depends on really, because it is trying to compile all that so that you can be able to have an export of your website. Yeah, so when you export, you'll be able to get a zip folder, and everything will be good to go. Let me get any other comment as I close and I get the export of what we have done.
Yes, Rogers, maybe as someone comes in, yes, the Kigezi people will get a chance, will get an opportunity to learn that. Dumba and Nora will be there, but still in Masaka on Saturday, this Saturday, we shall have a workshop. If you could help me and make a search on this, I'm making, we are making preps. Yes, type for me tutorials.sevof.com. So there is that website that I built using free plugins. Everything is free. So we shall be looking at how we can come up with a beautiful functioning website.
Double S?
But yes, it's double S. So I use the free Elementor and some other plugins. Everything is free. And you can see, I think on my side, I see the website is beautiful. So that's what we shall be passing through. We shall be passing through the steps how you can come up with such a website. That is on Saturday. Members who can afford to come to spare some time and come to learn, I think they'll benefit. Yeah, that is also a website built with WordPress with free plugins.
All right, Mr. Sevu. So members, if you use Elementor, you're unlimited. You can do much more, and you can do this. Now, it has finished extracting the zip, and please, you can try out, test your commuters. Some commuters, it just takes just a minute, but here you can see it took like 4 minutes plus. So learners should be aware that they need to export their website. Need time to export their website, and after I've exported the website, I can be able to come on my computer where there is the folder for UNEB, and then I say UNEB. I put there my name as Mukalere or something. Then, for example, I've done number 1, which was the item 1 for Microsoft Word. Now for web design, I need to have another folder here. Remember, the website is a collection of files. So I'm going to post this zip, but I need to extract it. I need to extract the zip so that it is there. Now this zip folder is one I'm going to rename, and I call it item 2, which was the second item. So inside there, I will have my website when it is functional. So I want to encourage members to go and give it a try. Try to see. But of course, the learners are not supposed to bring exactly this kind of website. This was just a sample. What the examiner is looking out for, hyperlinks is the menu there, pages. So don't necessarily say that, hey, learners are supposed to exactly come up with exactly this. I was just taking on the challenge to show that when you use a page builder, you can be able to achieve any layout, like Mr. Kakuru has demonstrated. Mr. Sebufu has also demonstrated. So when I open this, I'll be able to see my website, which I've done, and it is offline. It has my everything there. I click on academics. I will have my academics page. If I click on application form, I'll have my application form, and it is offline. It is offline. It is not no longer needing localhost. It doesn't need now XAMPP at all. It is just like any other website. So I think I'm ending here. I want to thank you. Mr. Dumba, over to you. Thank you for the opportunity. Mr. Dumba, are you there? Okay. Okay, so maybe colleagues, I'm going to stop sharing. I don't know if there's anyone who